Hey all, Heretic here, and today we're going to get into some basic Murloc win conditions. Let's see what kind of craziness we can cook up. First, let's get off the bat. Let's just start with Bream Counter. Bream Counter is a super easy Murloc. You might never even actually see it on your board. It's just going to sit in your hand and get buffed to no end, and it's going to be distributed to your board in a couple different ways, or if you're really lucky, both ways to get the most possible effect. First, Bream Counter works easy. You cycle Murlocs, and then Bream Counter gets bigger. You don't even want to play Bream Counter once it's gold, because in your hand, it's still gaining more stats. So unless there's a super reason you need that triple, you're better off just kind of keeping it in your hand. So ultimately, you would like to get a Basgill with this. Basgill will die during combat. Will then summon that Bream Counter onto your board. On top of any other stats that Basgill's already acquired themselves, Venom or something like that, they will then also summon you out this giant Murloc. By this stage of the game, it's probably quite big. Another good combo with this is also the Kripparrian. Okay, I can't pronounce it. It's a Murloc. It sounds like you're choking or drowning, but there you go. The Kripparrian will sit on your board, eat all the stats that are in your hand, but the cards are still there with those stats, so thus your Basgill can still summon them out onto the combat. Having these three cards together, plus all your other various Murlocs, is great synergy and will get you big stats suddenly on the board from where none were a moment before. And of course, we have to give some honorable mention to the MarkMcKz. If you're looking for a potential win condition that isn't quite enough, but at least sets the stage for you to start definitely thinking you're a Murloc board, or at least a very large single minion, MarkMcKz is going to get you there. As you're cycling cards randomly, this thing is just going to slowly grow the more you cycle. And hey, maybe you're lucky. Maybe you happen to see, while you have space on the board, a Dracarian Chant or two. Consider throwing this out, especially if you just cycled, a bunch of cards in one turn, because Dracarian Chanter is going to double those buffs on the MarkMcKz. You don't want to keep this there forever, but for a turn or two, especially if you have two MarkMcKz, you can see some serious growth with the addition of this card.
Who knows what secrets we'll uncover?
And there's no way I can go without mentioning Bran. Bran may not be a Murloc, but Bran is so vital to the Murloc builds, it's just ridiculous. There are so many battle cries in the Murloc tribe that there is just an inherent value from Bran you need. Anytime you don't get a Bran, your Murloc board is lacking. Either you don't generate enough Murlocs, you don't generate enough stats. Bran answer all of these things. So at any time you have a Murloc or two and you see a Bran drop into that shop, you really have to say, wait, can I get away with playing Murlocs here? Especially if you have something like a Primal Fin in the shop at the same time. There is so much value you can create from this combination of Bran in any Murlocs that you really can get out of control really quick. And they work with all of them, from the little tier 1 ones all the way up to the tier 5s and 6s, because there's just more combo pieces that work with that. And if you're seeing those Primal Fins popping around and you're just generating more and more cards, it can get out of control quickly. This is the granddaddy of Murloc builds, and it will continue to work as long as Bran is in the game. Hey all, just a couple fun ways you can play Murlocs. Nothing too crazy, a little bit of complication at times, but overall, the way you should typically be playing Murlocs. There's a lot of outlining builds and a lot of fun, more nuanced things you can do, but the basic core of what you need to be doing is those kind of builds. I hope you had a good time. I did too. I hope you learned a few things. Until next time, thanks for watching. Later.